Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Friday. End of the week. Make it through this afternoon, you're into the weekend. For some of you, that means you have 2 days off. For the rest of us, it's just another day. So I thought today we would talk about some of the comments because I feel I can go more in depth in a video than I can responding to a comment. And then we'll see where that goes. Well, other than that, stay with us. All right, so welcome back. If you didn't already know it, my name is Eric. I do the weekday show Monday through Friday, and usually a couple of videos over the weekend. And then I also try to do repair videos during the week, toss them out here and there. So today I thought we start with comments. And for me, a lot of times the comments give me sometimes a whole video. So that's why I said we'll see where it goes. Well, let's start off with you, Pete. Peter had mentioned he liked the idea of having like a one place where experienced guys could work together and help each other, and where somebody only sees it occasionally, the other person sees it a lot and knows quick workarounds. That's there already, I believe, because it's all on how you approach it. What I can tell you is if you're running into something that's got you stumped or taking you longer than what you thought and you're wondering if there's a better way, I don't care what video I put out last. Post it in the comment on that video. It could have nothing to do with the video. Okay? But why I'm saying to do that is because I guarantee on that new video, the latest one out, if you post there, you'll get a number of eyes within a 24-hour period. And a lot of times if you post it during the day when you're working on it, by the time you get up in the morning, somebody will have answered that question for you to the best of their ability. Yes, we do have some really great guys on here, and hopefully gals, but mostly guys, that are very experienced and have been around the block and are older and have a lot of wisdom. But by posting it in the latest video, within a 24-hour cycle, I will have seen it, read it. Jason will have seen it and read it, and most often responded. Travis will have seen it and read it. Amos will have seen it and read it. Barry, Randy, Bob, MPA, I could go on. And it might be that new mechanic, young buck, that just went through schooling for the most recent updates that may have the answer instead of us old fogies. That's what I mean. You never know where the right answer is going to come from. But if you ask it here, I guarantee you, from the quality of the people that we have here on the channel, they will point you in the right direction. And that's the biggest thing I thought with this channel. You know, we can make another channel where we act like asses and try to make it entertaining, or it could be a place where people come to get help that's educational, that people are willing to share ideas, and people can agree to disagree. And people are proactive when it comes to, you know, especially Jason. He's really good about coming back with a solid comment. And I have a lot of respect for him and Travis and Amos. Because when they come back with something, you may feel that it's being critical of yourself. If you do, then that's more you than them. I don't. If there's a teachable moment, let it be done. I know my way is not always the right way. And I know that there's also more than one right way. And one might be an easier way versus a harder way. So this old dog keeps an open mind and learns too. I'm getting as much as I'm giving. The camaraderie, the healthiness of the people that are here, the caliber of the people that are here. No, I'm enjoying myself. And then it also goes into, Peter, I did a complete video on how to network locally within your own field in your local area. And we had that here. They never used to have that because they felt that, we can't tell the competition this or that. And I'll be honest with you, when we first started doing this, it was a one-way street. We were giving information, helpful information to other shops of things that they hadn't seen before. And with a lot of younger mechanics, if an older machine came in with points and condenser and all that, they were lost. Whereas Claudia worked on them for years. But gradually they warmed up to the idea. They realized that, I'm not out to steal your customers or one-up you. And what I'll never do is talk bad about you. Because that never goes anywhere, does it? But over a year and a half is what it took to get that network. And the network wasn't so much between owners. Because we always had that open line of communication. Where I wanted it was within the mechanics. The actual grunts that were doing the physical work on these units. And would I get upset if one of the John Deere mechanics called Claude and they spent 20 minutes on the phone trying to diagnose something that he's got over there? Absolutely not. Well, that's on your time. You're paying Claude. But I guarantee you, the way this is set up for us locally, is if Claude gets on a John Deere issue and he can't figure it out, he can call that mechanic over to John Deere. And that John Deere dealership owner is not going to say beans to his mechanic by his mechanic helping Claude. Because everybody knows it's a two-way street. And I've had mechanics come after the end of the day at their job to come over and work later with Claude after hours on something that was stumping him. And Claude has done the same thing. So I think it's great if you can network with people online, but it's even better if you can network with your local people that have the dealerships. Your John Deere dealerships, the mechanics are going to be John Deere certified. Your Steel, which is now John Deere, they're cutting in bed together. They have their training, right? You have your MTD products, Simplicity, Ferris. The list goes on and on. But I would suggest, if you could, to try to set up something, even in the local area, to get that network started. Because I know over the years it's helped us immensely. And I have a great working relationship with all the owners and their people. I'm on their side too. I want to see them do well. I want to see all of us do well. And a lot of times with the smaller shops, here's another benefit you don't look at. is if these bigger shops, where they make their money is on warranty. I'll be honest with you. So sometimes what they'll end up doing is they'll push their overflow onto us. They'll recommend, if you want your machine, within a couple weeks or a week, go see Eric. They're a good shop. They do good work. Instead of just stacking them out in the yard to where it wouldn't even get touched throughout the summer. So there's another benefit to that. And when it comes to parts, if I have a John Deere I'm working on, I'm going to go to that John Deere dealership and buy my parts through him. And if he needs parts for AYP, the home light, all the other, they come to me because I've got them most times right here in stock. So hopefully that's kind of answered your question, Peter, that you can do it locally. But I think we've already got it here that when I'm talking about teaching to the youngest, the smallest denominator, is I don't want anybody to feel like they're not welcome or that their question is stupid. The only question I think is stupid is the one that's not asked. And if I can help somebody through something, that's going to make my day. All right, so let's go grab the other comments. All right, so the next one is Randy. Randy, you had mentioned, what do you do if you think you have a unit fixed and you send it out and it comes back with the same issue? Do you eat the cost? It depends on the repair and what the issue is. Case in point, I've had weed trimmers that we worked on that were running great, and then the next day the owner's bringing it back saying still doing the same thing. Questions I got for him is, did you run another tank of fuel through it? Well, yeah. Let me see your fuel. And I'll end up pouring that fuel tank into a glass jar where you can see, and there's water laying there. Or it's got a bunch of goop in it where the actual gas is breaking down that's causing the issue. And instead of them going and getting some fresh gas, because gas has a short shelf life and they're too cheap, they keep trying to use the old gas. And for that, you have to charge them. And a lot of times what it requires is just dumping it out. But if it's got a bunch of crap in the gas tank again, good chances are it could be up into the unit again, right? You have to take it one customer at a time. But my general answer would be no to fixing the repair for free. Customers have got to learn too that our time is valuable just as much as their time is. And sometimes you can't fix stupid. And what I mean is, if you are a shop and you're talking to your customer, some of the things you need to discuss with that customer before they walk out that door is, you are using fresh fuel that was got this year, last couple of weeks, right? And you may think that's a stupid question, but it's not. Because more often than not, the customer doesn't realize that gas goes bad over a period of time. And a lot of times they're still trying to run the ethanol fuel through the older machines, the two-strokes. And all I can tell you is most gas engines do not run well on water. And that's what ethanol is going to cause you. If it's something that on that unit, because and you are not sure whether it's your problem or their problem, then a lot of times we will eat the cost to fix it again. Because it could be simply something that we thought we had fixed, and now it's back. We fix one thing and then it leads to another. Short answer is no. Long answer is depends on what it is. And that's customer by customer. Okay, the next one is Ed. You had mentioned that you just picked up a LT1000, I believe, Craftsman, and you found that it had a cracked frame underneath the seat. Want to know if it's a common issue? Not so much common with the Craftsman, but it's a common issue with a lot of the writers out there, depending upon who the owner is and how much abuse that machine's been through. We've seen different units come through with cracked frames. And a lot of times what we end up doing is welding the crack and then plating both sides for strength right over top of the brake. We weld the brake, but then take pieces of steel and grind the area down good, hold it there with a magnet, and then weld in the plate so that it makes that frame 10 times stronger, probably over strong. But yes, we've seen it on even the John Deeres. Actually, the last one we did was a John Deere, one of the bigger ones, and the guy had busted the frame. It had started to crack from the deck side up towards, and it was allowing everything to flex and not work properly. But there's a quick fix for that. Just weld her up, just as good as new. And then MPH, you were talking about a Polaris side-by-side. And you were wondering, because it does have the high pressure screen in it, in the fuel tank, the fuel pump. Could fuel and stabilizer be causing a lot of the issues for that customer? Absolutely. And we've seen it numerous times. And it goes back to Randy's question on, do you keep fixing it for free? A lot of times, most of our customers are not smart on fuel and stabilizers and what exactly the stabilizer is doing to the fuel, and how having fuel around for long periods of time, gasoline, it'll start breaking down. See, ethanol is corn base, right? So you're going to get goop in the system. Now, most of the side-by-sides that are out there today have been made to run on the 10% ethanol, okay? We're all fine and good so far, right? But what they don't tell you is, depending on how often they use that four-wheeler or side-by-side, is how long it's sitting there in the tank. And it will start breaking down. And I've also had in videos where if you go to get the premium fuel, you end up with so much out of the initial burst, because if it's only got the one handle for 3 different fuels, when you push different fuel, you still have that whole hose is full of fuel, ethanol. And we have seen it, so it was kind of a cloudy, chunky crapola. See, a lot of your stabilizers out there they don't mix in with the fuel. They actually will take, it's called a shield, and try to keep air from being able to penetrate the ethanol fuel. Because if air can penetrate it, it's going to draw moisture, right? So the quick and long answer is absolutely. And that's where it goes back to, we need to let our customers know how long gasoline will keep and why it may cost them a fortune if they don't start doing things differently. And then that brings us to AUX 1. You're saying that you're out, kind of started a junkyard. You're buying, the junk units and trying to fix what you can and then selling the parts on eBay. It's a tough market on eBay. We've been there for years. We were one of the first ones out there. And when it comes to pre-owned parts, most of the time what I'm seeing these days is race to the bottom. And that is to try to undersell the next guy. And that never works. Because eventually it's going to be where nobody's making any money, right? You're actually going backwards. And a lot of people that are newer to eBay, they don't realize that, even a 4-ounce part is going to cost $4 plus just to ship it. And you're going to need the shipping supplies, your bags, polys, or the padded envelopes, or the boxes. You got tape involved, you've got paper, a printer to print your labels, on and on. And then after you have all that, you also have eBay taking their share. And if you have a store, it's going to be their share plus the store price. So, and the other thing is just advertise that you're willing to pick up the older, people's old machines, because a lot of the people that are homeowners are looking at having to pay to have it hauled away. And they give it to you versus you buying it. I know with us here, the yard doesn't take long to get it full. And that's a lot of it is just they giving it to us. And the other thing is check with other small engine repair businesses in the area to see if they want to part out some of their old stuff. You never know. Like I was saying in the beginning, I'm going to wrap this up because we're into 20 minutes. Sometimes the comments can take up a whole video. And that's great. Because I'm answering questions and I know that I'm going to get other people from the channel that are experienced as well putting forth their fixes to the problems. But that's how we learn, right? If we know the answers to questions, and if we don't know them, we find out. So on that note, you guys have a great Friday and a great weekend if I don't see you until Monday. We got snow to battle with today. We got a mower to pick up, a mower and a snowblower to drop off. And I wanted to add, in the other video of the day where I had all those weed eaters setting up, Claude and I decided yesterday, let's knock these out as fast as we can go. And not a one of them had compression over 75. Not a one. So that's why sometimes we hate to see them come in, because then we have to tell the customer that it's just not worth fixing, right? All right, guys, you have a great day.